is up? What is up? Hey. What is going on? This is the No I Don't Know TV podcast, whatever the fuck y'all niggas want to call it. Man. I'm your boy Warren G, in a place to be. Man, clown and sucker free since 2003. What's going on? Shout out to my nigga Leo again. Chilling with that nigga. I learned every day's a school day, but every time I be chilling with that nigga, there's always something to laugh about. Man, right now, I know a lot of us is at church and just probably got home, got done testifying and trying to be good for everybody at the church. And, you know, and wondering if Jesus came back. Damn. Not this time. Said it type shit. Because that's all it is. Oh, he said it, so believe it. I guess, man, that's what y'all want to do, man. But anyway, let me turn this shit down. Man. There's so much shit that's been going on. Man, I've been watching. Seeing all the explaining from Gayle King and Oprah and everybody else, and then you just seeing so many people pile on and say the dumbest of things. But before I get into that, man, shout out to everybody that's working. I would hope that you're working. Shout out to everybody that's working. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're slanging dick or auctioning off your pussy. Let me get 55, yeah. Let me get 55 for that pussy, yeah. Let me get 75 for that pussy, yeah. So, to the next suck-ass nigga. For all y'all bitches out there auctioning off y'all pussy, hey, man, nothing but love and respect for you. Just make sure you, as Corey Holcomb would say, don't price your pussy out the game. But anyway, I just got to get that shout out because it is not easy. And the weather all fucked up. It's going from hot to cold. They trying to do anything to make sure a motherfucker get the flu. Go get you some elderberry tea. Get you some turmeric tea and some raw honey. That's the only thing that's going to defend that. Not taking no goddamn flu vaccination shot. All that's going to do is put you behind the line. And if you are native black in this country, you're already 450 years behind the line. But anyway, let me get into the topic. Man, I just been watching and seeing so many people, but they be airing these motherfuckers out on Twitter. And I see how Snoop, I appreciate Snoop really going in on that lady, because she's a funky bitch. And she's a sambo. She's definitely an agent for the system. So is Oprah. And I just feel like these people should have been called out a long time ago. That's why they are allowed to be where they are. You know what I mean? You cannot be a person that has a lot of wealth and resources unless you've been allowed. Because they're not going to allow a person that really means right by the people to have land, wealth, and resources. That's just not going to happen. They want somebody to perpetuate what the system is and was and what it always should be to them. And the reason why I say that, you see, of course, at the Oscars, they're going to have Billy Porter's moist ass out there with a gown on, and because they trying to make it cool to wear a dress and all this bullshit and effeminize the native black man and, just have all this bullshit going on. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. That stuff doesn't bother me. What bothers me is this: the deaf, the dumb, and the sambo. The reason why I would say that is because some people are just dumb. They don't know. They're not educated. They ain't read no books. You know what I mean? Because you don't got to read a whole lot of books. You can go off your common sense. And then a lot of people are just, they know what's going on. They on some sambo shit. Pandering and dog whistling to the dominant society. And you got Michael Eric Dyson making this speech on Twitter talking about, well, we all believe Kobe. And he even, why are you even mentioning that? But a lot of times when people want a paycheck, they'll do that type of shit. You know what I mean? And then you have the dumb, you know what I mean? You have the dumb who are, because I would say Michael Eric Dyson, he's more on the sambo side of the game because you're not deaf and you're not dumb. So I would say that's just my partake, my perspective. And then when you would go into the people, like I was looking for the footage, but you can't really find the footage. I seen it on Twitter, how Joe Biden was, how Bernie Sanders was taking up for Joe Biden. And basically like when they asked him a question about what Nina Turner said, and, oh, do you agree with what she said? Oh, well, Joe is my friend. So he blatantly threw her black ass under the bus like, oh, I don't agree with her because he's my friend. See, y'all got to understand. So what that means for Nina Turner, you need to resign and get the fuck away from Bernie Sanders. And stop thinking that you going to make a way for your people, because that ain't going to make no way. What you should have did after he did that, you know what? I will be resigning. But when you want some type of money, I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you like this, like I said on Twitter, and y'all hear me good. If I was representing Jewish people and somebody in my cabinet was like, oh yeah, but Warren has friends that are grandkids of Hitler, and he hang out with them and he kind of believes what they say. If I said, oh yeah, well, they're my friends though. The Jewish community, you think they would defend me? You think they would allow me to represent them? If Hitler's grandkids were my friends and I hung out with them and chilled with them and kind of sympathized with what they dad did and empathized, you think that they would allow me to represent them? Once he dissed Nina Turner, she should have been like, all right, I'm done. I'm not fucking with that motherfucker no more. I'm cool. I respectfully have resigned. But here's the thing. When we think we gonna get something, that starts at home. That starts with parenting and socialization. It starts with us. I was watching this documentary on the pharmacist, this white man from Louisiana. His son was buying crack in the 9th Ward and got shot. And this black bitch gonna fucking dry snitch. And she dry snitched because she wanted that $10,000. That's what it was. And then the nigga who actually did the shooting, he tried to go in there and act like he knew who did it, you know, because he didn't know no better. And there's a code of conduct in the hood. You don't snitch. Well, this bitch snitches anyway. Then he got to go to jail for 15 years. What did I say it was right for him to kill that young Caucasian boy? No. But what I'm saying is this. The Caucasian boy's father didn't give a fuck about the other kids that got killed in the 9th Ward when they was going over to buy crack, because he admitted it on the documentary. Oh, I really didn't care. And then it was your son. And then what happens with us is, oh, I feel so bad for him. No. When the KKK and those dominant society motherfuckers, because we get killed. But this is the only place on earth where a white person can get killed and then his parent could just put up signs and walk in the neighborhood and basically be a fucking attorney or a pet detective and get to walking around asking everybody questions. And then we fold because we have a heart. But you know what? That bitch didn't have no heart. That bitch wanted that money. And what they should have done was they should have discarded that. Oh, I moved. Yeah, you should have moved because you broke code. See, that's the thing. We don't have a code. See, the dominant society does. Why you say that, Warren? Well, Joe Biden clearly is friends with Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders clearly said, oh, well, Joe is my friend, and so basically, I don't really agree with that bitch. But we still continue to be their lily pad and their stepping stone so they can step all over us so they can use whatever they need from us and they going about their way. I don't understand that. I still don't understand that to this day. You know, and as I'm watching this documentary, then all of a sudden, you know, he's taping every conversation and all. I'm like, oh, yeah, you got too much time on your hand. Then you go back to work to be a pharmacist. Then you notice, oh, people are addicted to this. And, you know, why are we, man, get the fuck out of here. You're just upset because your Caucasian son was a dope fiend that nobody talks about. And he said that he was studying, but he was over in the 9th Ward buying dope. But nobody talks about how he was a dope fiend. They just talk about how sad he is and what a good kid he was and how they invited the black bitch who was the witness in their case. Oh, I want to see the room. I'm guaranteeing you they gave her some money too. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if it's cash or something. They gave that bitch some money. And then that black bitch was a dope fiend. See, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, we don't have a code. We don't stick to the code. Because money by definition, it divides the pie. That's why when Colin Kaepernick was protesting, nobody else was willing to do that because they wasn't finna give up their money. And let me play devil's advocate. Colin, nigga, you was getting big bank from Nike, which you should. But you can't expect everybody to give up the only paycheck they have and you getting residuals. See, that's what we have to understand. This isn't the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the Bill Russells, the Muhammad Alis, the Joe Frasers of the world, where niggas was willing to be like, fuck it then, I'll just give them my paycheck to make sure you good. We don't do that in this era. And I'm not saying that Colin Kaepernick was supposed to pay niggas, but in a way, hey man, here go extra 100,000, man. Or here go 50,000. Here go 10 stacks for you. I appreciate you standing with me, bro. No, I don't need it. Nah, man. Feed your family with it, man, because I know they gonna fuck with you. You do that on GP because you getting bread. The dominant society has set it up where you getting bread. So I don't understand what you know what I mean? See, that's why I always say this, and I've been saying this. Everybody got a price. What's your price? You know, everybody got a price. Everybody act like they ain't got no price, but everybody do. And not just that, you see a lot of these things and like, damn, man. See, I don't not expect this from these politicians. And there was this councilman, and I've been looking for it right now. There was this councilman that was on Twitter, and he's from South Bend. And I'm looking it up as we speak. Black councilman from South Bend. And he was going in on Buttigieg. He was going in on Buttigieg and basically saying he perpetuates systemic racism. Henry Davis Jr., a South Bend, Indiana councilman, took aim at former Mayor Pete Buttigieg's record on race in the city after the Democratic presidential debate in New Hampshire on Friday, accusing the candidate of perpetuating systematic racism. Davis Jr. ran an unsuccessful campaign to unseat Buttigieg as mayor in 2015. After serving 2 terms of the South Bend Common Council, he won a 3rd term to be council in November and has frequently criticized Buttigieg, arguing that he failed the Midwestern city's black and brown population. That's the only thing. Stop black and brown. Stop including everybody else. See, that's the problem. You know, motherfuckers get to talking. That's why I'm like, look, when you start asking a person about racism, white supremacy, remember this. Remember this. Black labor, white world. You like, what do you mean? Broad and ambiguous terms. People of color, Latinos, minorities. Those are broad and ambiguous terms as Dr. Claude Anderson teaches us. Those are trickery words. So to get you, well, I did mention, no. We need to mention us specific because as Dr. Claude Anderson teaches us, we are a special people. We are special people. We're the only people that fought in every war to defend this country. We're the only people and group in this country who built the country for free and has endured racism, Jim Crow, desegregation, redlining, gentrification, everything that encapsulates all the negative aspects of who we are today. That's what we faced the last 450 years. So with that being said, we got to stop including everybody else. And he says this, as a councilman in South Bend, I know why Pete Buttigieg looked like a deer in the headlights last night when talking about systematic racism in the South Bend police. He tolerated it. He perpetuated it. And last night, he lied to millions of Americans about it. See, and when they had that, I would say, open forum and all those black people went to talk, he tried to like dumb it down. And because you notice the dominant society, they're very emotionless. They've been taught that. That's in their DNA. Don't be emotional, because for the most part, to me, they don't have souls. They don't possess the law of rhythm. Go get the Kabbalion. They don't possess that. It's not in their DNA. That's why the majority of them don't have rhythm. And whatever rhythm they have, that's because they've been around black people and they've studied our algorithm. And I stand on that, and we can debate about it all day long, because that's what I truly believe in my heart. They have to be around our energy to possess the law of rhythm, because the majority of them, they don't have it. You know, And the thing about it is to me, that's just my perspective. The thing about it is I think we want to do right because we feel like doing right is when they go low, you go high. Man, fuck Barack Obama, that bullshit. Michelle Obama. Them motherfuckers is paid. That's why he's talking that. When you go low, you go high, man. Fuck all that. No, when they go low, you go lower. Fuck them. Because let me tell you something. If you're not cheating, you're not winning. Remember that. Remember that. If you're not cheating, you're not winning. And a lot of people think that, oh no, we could just do things the right way. Like this lady that I was watching on that pharmacist shit on Netflix. I'm like, this is some bullshit. And that brings me to my other thing. I'm watching this documentary on Malcolm X and it talks about the assassination. What I don't like is how black folk will get on there and consent. Okay, if you're not a member of the FOI or the NOI, fine. If you're not a fan of the Nation of Islam, fine. But you don't understand what a code is. And when you go on TV or Netflix and frame this picture like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam was bad and they didn't really like Malcolm and they're the reason why he's dead and oh, I'm trying to find out. No, you're not. Because if you're trying to find out who killed Malcolm X, then why don't you go ask J. Edgar Hoover and all those people that had something to do with it? Stop going at the Nation of Islam. Stop trying to frame this picture that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was just this bad human being. Like, and I'm not just saying that, and I'm not biased. I'm just saying because I look at it like this. Do you ever hear them talking bad about John F. Kennedy and all the bitches he was fucking and all the fuckery he had going on? No, you don't really hear them talking about none of the presidents and all their fuckery. None of them. Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, none of them. You don't ever hear them talking about none of that unless some person that gets off code like William Cooper or Gary Webb or something like that gets off code might say it, and then they end up getting killed or disciplined about it. But for the most part, you don't hear people talking out of code when it comes to personal digs and financial shit. Not in that capacity. And the thing that I didn't like about this documentary was they just kept trying to like steer the picture that the FOI was bad and it was like a military and you have to think like them and what's wrong with that? I don't hear nobody talking about the Jewish faith. I don't hear nobody talking about the Mormon faith. I don't hear nobody talking about the Catholic faith at all. I don't hear any of that. Like in Powernomics, I'm thinking, or Black Labor like White Wealth, how Dr. Claude Anderson talks about how the Catholic Church had a hand in slavery as well. Just like Dr. Khalid Muhammad talked about how they had a hand in slavery as well, and they was making money off of it. But guess what? All they did was give a public apology. Fuck your apology. We want the land, wealth, and resources that you accumulated off slavery. As they doing this shit in Ash Wednesday and all. Go ahead, do all that Ash Wednesday. I don't care, but where's the money at? I need the yams. That's how you can make that up. Because it's so funny, and I'll keep telling you this over and over, and this is for the deaf and the dumb and not even the blind, just the deaf and the dumb. Jews receive reparations over hundreds of billions of dollars. They get a check. But why is it when Bernie Sanders asked about Native blacks, no, they shouldn't get a check. They should get free health care. They should get education. It's always something else, but not money, not land and resources. But when it comes time for us to get our shit, oh, no. We give them education. We'll tell them what they can get. But when it comes time for the Jews people that make it right. You got so many people part of dominant society, they don't see nothing wrong. Go watch the basketball games. Watch the Laker games. Watch the Clipper games. You don't see a lot of do you see a whole lot of niggas there? I don't. I see a whole lot of dominant society motherfuckers there, though. I see a whole lot of dominant society motherfuckers sitting front row. And if I see a native black person, they either an entertainer, rapper, sports player, and that's it. I don't see no just come from the slum. No, you know why you don't see that? Because it's designed that way. And I don't understand why people think any different. It's not gonna be different. You know what I mean? Then you got motherfuckers like Gayle King and Oprah. And who else? You got Gayle King, you got Oprah, you got Michael Eric Dyson, you got Mark Lamont Hill. with his moist opinion. Oh, I didn't think she said nigger. I think she said niggers and all. When you start listening to motherfuckers and they start talking shit about our elders by like Dr. Francis Welsing, and when you start listen to what they're saying, those are the type of people that want the pat on the head. Those are not the type of people that's like, well, fuck it. If I gotta be poor and be amongst the people, then goddamn it, fuck it. I'd rather the people choose me than these motherfuckers do it. And that's how it's always gonna be. Just like, see, you gotta take that type of mentality, understand what it is. Like, when I tell people don't vote, vote means to make a wish, etymology speaking. Then you got all these boule motherfuckers. Boule means hand to the king, etymology speaking. And a lot of people think because they got a little bit of status, they got the little crib or whatever, they just think somehow, some way, they much better than the average nigga. I talked about that in the last podcast. Yeah, you can have a house and, you don't have to worry about rent control and all that. That's fine. But how you gonna keep that motherfucker? Because if you are on the corporate plantation, that could be taken away from you at any fucking time. And now your credit is fucked up. Now what you gonna do? And the average renter, fuck it. They can scrounge up some change for some rent. But it's different when you're trying to scrounge up some change for a goddamn mortgage, especially when it's called debt pledge, because that's what it is. But we think when we get out, we get to pop in our collar and think we somehow done made it. Nigga, you can, first of all, by definition of racism, it's an institution. You have to have power. And according to Neely Fuller Jr., which I do believe, from that perspective, and Dr. Francis Welsing, they dominate 9 areas of activities. The dominant society dominates 9 areas of activities. Sex, religion, labor, law, politics, education, economics, war, and I forgot I got 8. I forgot 9, I think, or counter war. I think it's 9. They dominate all 9 of them. One of them, they dominate so cold, you don't even know you've been dominated when you go to that church and you say Jesus said it, like the Sunday school books I used to open up. That's why I used to always be looking like, why they don't look like us? And what they would do is the Sunday school book pictures would be in black and white. But clearly, if you're looking at them, you can tell, for the most part, these are Caucasians. But what has happened is, through the Rockefeller Foundation and the 501c3, hey, we let you have your church. And like I tell people, niggas can own 1 million churches, but niggas ain't gonna own no banks though. Niggas ain't gonna own no major corporations. And niggas definitely ain't gonna talk shit about the dominant society and how they have put us behind the line for the last 450 years. They just not gonna do it. The last person that I heard ever talk in that capacity was Reverend Jeremiah Wright. That's it. Most black churches, they ain't gonna talk about that shit. They're not gonna empower you to do that. That's why I didn't like that documentary about Malcolm X and how they were trying to frame this picture and frame it the way like, the Nation of Islam was, and they were interviewing a whole bunch of former FOI people, former Nation of Islam people, but they'd yet to interview anyone that's in the nation right now that's prevalent. That's what I don't get. Man, the Nation of Islam is responsible for cultivating and changing the lives of hundreds of thousands and millions of black men that were on the street. I mean, just changing their lifestyle, changing how they think. So how are you gonna disparage them but slight do it? Well, I should have known, because when I saw the executive producer was Coon Henry Louis Gates. So that was all I needed to know. Fuck out of here, man. These motherfuckers, man, they get a kick out of doing that. And the thing that I didn't like about the Gayle King and Oprah thing, y'all pressing all these niggas, but why you not pressing Harvey Weinstein? That's your homeboy. I've been saying this forever. Y'all gotta watch this shit. When they oppress you but won't press nobody else, you better wake up and smell it, because it's real. But hey, man, I'm telling y'all go enjoy the clown-ass Oscars and pout about niggas not winning and watch Cynthia Erivo, a.k.a. the clown coon Sambo, who be talking shit about native black people so she get a pat on their Look, the majority of these people, they get a pat on their head because they talk shit about niggas. That's a fact. That's why I don't even listen. I don't even want to hear Al Sharpton. Period. You the ambulance chaser. You just go around chasing fucking bullshit. Or not even bullshit. You going around chasing anything that could have some type of significance attached to it, and all you do is quell the storm and basically keep the niggas in line, and then brokerage a deal between them and the dominant society. So nah, fuck Reverend Al Sharpton and his bullshit Lord Jesus perm, and fuck Reverend Jesse Jackson, Messy Jesse, and all that fuckery that he had going on. These motherfuckers know what the fuck is going on, man. Don't let these people fool you. Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders and all that. And then Turner, resign. Get away from them, man. These people don't have your best interest at heart. And I don't know why motherfuckers still up here defending Joe Biden. Joe Biden is responsible for the 94 crime bill. That's all I need to say. So why would anybody think what it is now they just bold about it. You ask them about racism, they get to talk about Mexicans. And immigrants built this country. Need I remind you, immigrants did not build this country. Native blacks, Aboriginal black people built this country. Aboriginal, native, melanated people built this country for free. And that's all I have to say. And I would dare anybody bring the facts. I want to see the facts. I don't want to see no bullshit. That's why when you watch these politicians, or you just watch anybody talk about, nobody's really being honest and truthful about race, period. Period. That's on the corporate plantation, that's period. It's a good old boy system. I know what they're saying when we're not in the room. It's nigga this, nigga that, you know, making fun of our hair, making fun of how we talk, making fun of everything we do, but secretly going to get tans, plumping their lips up, getting ass shots to the point where sisters that got big asses go get ass shots so they can get even bigger asses. That bullshit. You know what I mean? Because you got people that's a part of dominant society that perpetuates this in-house competition between us. Basically, all they got to do is just be like, okay, well, I got $1 million for a motherfucker that'll sell out their own people and make a mockery of their people. Niggas will be like, fuck it, I'll do that shit. Because we have lack of integrity. We have lack of morals and code of conduct. And I know why that is. We are destitute people. We come from the slums, so we feel like it ain't no way out. It is a way out. Everybody got 24 hours in a day. So what you gonna do with it? All you niggas that's out there that's hating on the niggas that's going to get it, that's the problem. Y'all niggas is the problem. And then you coon and buck dance when you get around the dominant society because you'd rather be comfortable than be uncomfortable. That's why I tell people, I don't give a fuck about who you date, because I tell niggas ain't gonna never tell me who I date. I already told that story too many times. I don't give a fuck what niggas think. I fuck who the fuck I want to fuck. But that's not gonna stop me from calling out racism and white supremacy. I don't care who you are. I'm scared of a lot of white bitches, a lot of Latino bitches, a lot of Asian women, a lot of black bitches. That's a fact. Cause because I feel like a lot of the black women, not because they coons, that's because they be afraid. They don't want a nigga to lose whatever little financial stability that he has. That's why I've always had the exception to my people, because I get it. A lot of my people, they get scared. They don't want to see you lose your shit, or damn, man, I want to see you be fucked up out here because you talking shit about that. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But they're the exception to the rule. They supposed to look out for black men or just look out for us, period. That's different. But a lot of other races that are scared because they figure, because you in my presence, that I'm just going to cater. Nah, bitch, fuck you. I'm going to call out the racism all day, and I'm going to smell it on you if you one of them. Because any motherfucker that's up under me, I don't give a fuck who they are. White, black, purple, green, they up under me, nigga, they with it. They reading the same books I'm reading. They doing the same shit that I'm doing. And they're telling me what's being said when I'm not in the room. That's a fact. Because that's what they supposed to do. See, we don't need anybody from the dominant society like Andrew Yang. Nigga, I don't like that all tides will lift all boats, man. Fuck all that. First of all, I sat down with a Asian cat and he was trying to talk about these mentorship, and then he started talking about race and how he used to get called yellow this and all this other stuff. But I'm looking at him like, but why do you think that's comparable to what Native blacks have suffered in this country? Because what the dominant society has done, they have diminished and watered down our suffering and made it so watered down like it's not a big deal, and that any suffering that anybody else has went through is just as big and as bad as what Native blacks has went through. That's why you got the LGBTQ element on PXYZ making it seem like their struggle is comparable to black struggle. That's why you got my Latino brothers and sisters, which is no diss, but you got them feeling some type of way like, oh, well, we built the country. No, sir. Y'all did not build this country. No diss, but y'all didn't. Jim Crow, slavery, just like when a motherfucker gets to talking, I'm telling you, I had a white motherfucker talk about, man, that's so sad how we forced, how the United States forced them to build the railroads, the Chinamen and all that. And I was looking, and the first thing I was thinking about was this book, Slavery by Another Name. And the reason why I was thinking about this book, because in this book, it clearly talks about how we constructed the railroads, all that shit, and how basically it was us that built the railroads, and all the Chinese people did was come in damn near type shit and just kind of finish it. But they were paid for those. See, every other group has gotten paid through reparations or whatever, but black people. So there should be something, some type of compensation, restitution to make right to Native blacks. And we gotta stop allowing them to water down everybody's experience and talk shit about people like the Nation of Islam. I don't like that, man. I don't like that. I don't like that shit at all. I think that shit is bogus and it's bullshit. You'll talk shit about the Nation of Islam, but praise Creflo Dollar and all these other suck-ass niggas that's out here, running game on these goofy-ass lame motherfuckers in church, standing in his line and going to church and listening to every word that they say. But out of all those churches, Fred Price is the only nigga that had Dr. Claude Anderson on his platform to teach black power, black group economics. None of them other preachers do, because that's less bread for them. That's why I don't fuck with church like that, because the first thing I'm gonna ask, okay, what the fuck you doing with the money? I knew, because I grew up watching that. I watched a lot of that shit. I saw more niggas with fresh cars and fucked up churches. So it's like, well, where is your priority at? And then you supposed to be leading me to have a more spiritual journey with God? Man, get the fuck out of here. No. The Nation of Islam was teaching young black men how to be young black men. Teaching young black men that they are God. That God is a black man. That teaching us the supreme knowledge. But we don't, what it is it's so contrarian to most religions that it's like, oh, it's bad. But there's nothing wrong with any other faith teaching their faith and, this is our way to heaven. But when it comes to the Nation of Islam, oh, we crazy, we all this other shit. No, I ain't just saying that because I got the picture up. I was saying this shit before then. You better go watch my podcast. I was saying this before I read not Message to a Black Man, but The Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I was saying this before because I was just like, I used to always think to my head like, okay, you in church, you giving all these offerings, you doing all this other shit, but what are y'all teaching us? The reason why you like, well, why you always be going hard? This is the reason why I be going hard. Because I'm out here. I'm at the corporate plantation job. And nothing that I learned in church ever taught me how to deal with racism and white supremacy. Nothing. Jesus said it didn't teach me that. Praying and, just pray. No. You have a strong will, strong mind to deal with that shit every day. That shit is not fun. You gotta work 10 times harder than the average dominant society white person, and then they still laugh and talk shit about you and treat you all fucked up, and then try to laugh with you about it. And think the shit is funny. So it's like, no, I wasn't taught none of that shit in church growing up. No, I was just taught sing and dance and shout and Jesus said it and all this other shit and read the Bible and pray. And motherfuckers can be like, oh no, we talk more than that, man, please. What's the point of knowing how to quote these scriptures when you can't translate it into real life? You can't translate it to how you dealing with an oppressor at a corporate plantation and how to combat it and how to be still and calm and not be emotional and be emotionless. Let me tell you when I learned that. I learned that reading Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's The ISIS Paper. I learned that reading Black Labor, White Wealth. I learned that reading Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy. I read that reading The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. That's how I kind of learned that. And then I really, really started to kind of like, okay, I get it. By the time I read Powernomics, I was just kind of like, I get it. I get it. And then I kind of referenced a lot of Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, how it's like genetic annihilation. And it's a fear of a black planet and a fear of us, period. That's why they be so shocked when we're able to adapt to their system, their culture, and run rings around them in it is crazy because they be like, damn. Because they know they can't do that in our culture. They know that. They can come amongst us, but they can't dominate it. And if they do, it has to be a co-signing of a black person or multiple black people. Just like in their culture, a lot of the times you won't get co-signed by a native black person in their culture because most native blacks be so worried if you're a little bit, I would say, militant. Black people get scared for you. So often you got to get co-signed by a dominant society individual, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is most dominant society, white people, they got to give up their white privilege. A lot of times, they got to use their white privilege to get you in that door, and then they kind of got to give it up. Because now, sometimes what you might say might be contrarian to what their white friends and colleagues think. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just such a battle that's not being taught in these black churches. It's like, man, we got to start studying for ourselves. Because it's not being taught. It's not being taught. Don't be emotional. When you get on the corporate plantations, go do your job and go the fuck home. You don't got what you getting emotional about. For what? Who cares? But what it is a lot of times is black people make it hard on other black people when you get on the corporate plantation. Because most black people, they be on some coon sambo shit. And they feel like they got power until white mommy and daddy come along and slap them on their head and be like, no, nigger, you don't have any power. This is what's really going on. And black people have taken on some of those terrible characteristics. We display them on the corporate plantation. And we display them in real life, period. We think we got this little bit of material and we kind of look at each other from a standpoint of like, oh, well, nigga, you get it, you right. Niggas can't get it. But I would always suggest niggas go read. Because I know a lot of niggas with a lot of material, but I know a lot of niggas that's empty on the inside. And they don't know what the fuck is going on. And they're going to see what life is really about when they have to really earn their keep. See, a lot of people is comfortable. We all get comfortable. But as you keep reading, it should re-energize you not to be comfortable and understand what life is about. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. This is No I Don't Know TV series. Hey, man, shout out to everybody that's out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my family. Shout out to, everybody, my relatives that I really deal with. I'm not talking about, motherfuckers that be acting like that. Shout out to Tamisha and everybody else. But I'm talking about real relatives that they know they really, if they really text me, I'll text their ass back. And it won't be, what the fuck do you want? But anyway, shout out to everybody there. Shout out to my nephews, my older nephew and my younger nephew. I got to go see him. But anyway, everybody, I appreciate listening, subscribing. Hey, man, if anybody on the same page as you, send this to them. If they're Sambo or Coon, don't send that shit to them. That's a fact. Send this to somebody that's on the same page, man. Love and live life. Each one teach one. Stop being mad at everybody else. And if you're going to be mad at the white man, understand why you're mad at him. But don't just stay in that stagnant position. Understand why you're mad and have a course of action to move forward. Because a lot of us don't want to move forward. We just want to talk about what they done. And then we don't want to have a course of action plan. Well, what's your course of action plan? Okay, well, go get Stock Tip for Dummies and go read that book and learn exactly what they're doing. You know why? Because if you read Black Labor, White Wealth or Powernomics, the books I always talk about every fucking podcast, Dr. Claude Anderson clearly talks about how white people's wealth is held in liquidities of stocks and bonds and 401ks and mutual funds and cash deposit accounts and money market accounts. He clearly talks about that. That's what made me go get a Stock Tip for Dummy books besides even listening to Boyce Watkins, because Boyce Watkins been talking about that. Go get Think Like a Millionaire by Dr. Boyce Watkins. It clearly gives you a plan on how to move forward. So I'm not just on here talking shit. I'm telling y'all, go buy the stock. Go buy the stock. Fuck it, go up and down. It go up and down. That's what it's meant to do. But don't go buy the stock and then turn around and be like, fuck that nigga Warren, man. He told me to buy this stock. Now I'm losing money. If you're not prepared to hold that stock for at least 10 years, you shouldn't buy it. That's what Warren Buffett talks about. Because, we don't like to listen to black people like Dr. Boyce Watkins. We like to listen to white people. You know what I'm saying? Even though white people could never, ever, ever, truly ever understand our struggle, they can try as much as they can to empathize if they really, really, truly mean it. But they have to really want to understand where we come from and really not possess white fragility and start deflecting. No, they got to take it on like, you know what? It is our fault. And this is the reason why black people are the way they are. But we got to understand that. And have a plan moving forward, man. If your plan is just go get you a car you can afford. Don't go try to get you a car that you trying to impress everybody. Fuck everybody. Everybody not paying your bills. Everybody ain't got your power bill, ain't got your your lights and gas bill. They don't have those bills. Everybody ain't got your rent and your insurance to pay. Stop trying to keep up with everybody else. And stop viewing each other as competition. See, I don't do that. But a lot of us, we don't want to build the foundation. A lot of niggas, they want to wait till the house is built and then walk in it when it's done. And then when a nigga be like, well, nigga, I already built it, I'm sorry. Then the nigga be like, this nigga done changed. But it's like we have not been socialized to do the work. We've just been socialized to complain and be on the hamster wheel and watch everybody else do it. It's a lot of my brothers and sisters out there, it's a lot of my niggas out there that are so envious of most niggas that just get up and go to work every day. I don't understand that. And they have the same opportunities that we do. But they choose not to. They choose to sit on their ass and scratch their ass and smell it and talk shit about the next nigga that's getting up, getting out, and doing something. Listen to their conversation. Listen to how they view life. If they are viewing life like anything they see on the news is true, then you should see how much time they got on their hands. Or they just deaf and dumb. Or blind. But that's just the way it goes. You can't save everybody, because I don't. I never try to. I don't try. See, you got to treat people like in the Matrix. You can't free everybody's mind. Some people don't want to be free mentally. Some people still think, oh, no, this is the way it's supposed to be, and I'm going to go forward. Well, go do your thing. I don't trip off that type of stuff. And the reason why I don't is because everybody's not meant to be saved. Just like everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur. Just like everybody's not meant to work at a corporate plantation job. Some people are not meant to do that. The reason why people are meant to work at a corporate plantation job because the way they've been socialized. And growing up in a black church, what are you normally taught? Go to school so you can get you a good job. And that's it. You're not taught to be an entrepreneur. Most churches don't even back entrepreneurs. They don't fund that. They fund you going to college because you're guaranteed money and ties and orphans for their shit. But you're not guaranteed a future there. They come through and hacksaw that whole motherfucking department. Then what? And most of you can't lean on the black church. The black church ain't gonna take care of you. So you can talk all the shit you want about the Mormon church, but let me tell you something. Go join the Mormon church and let me tell you about that. One thing about the Mormon church, you gonna have a job because they have strategically, to me, socialized their congregations and upbringings to get their education and get into corporate America to make sure they can take care of their own. And there's nothing wrong with that. And no, I'm not calling the sandbone because that's how the game is played. That's the social game rules. Why are black churches not doing that? I watch a lot of black preachers on TV, but what type of influence do they have in these corporations where the sheep or your flock can be working at these corporations so they can have jobs? See, but when you start questioning that, then you're like, exactly. But that's a whole nother topic. I'll do a topic on that one day. Each one has to teach one. Stop thinking you better than a motherfucker because you got a nicer car than somebody. Nigga, in an instance, boom, it could be taken. Love, live life. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Hey, man, if you're out there doing some shit you ain't supposed to be doing, keep doing it, my nigga, because the dominant society is doing it all day long until they get caught. All right, then, y'all, I'm out. Guilty, niggas. Peace.